Fourth session. We now have Professor Savita Kerkar, who would be presenting a talk on biomimetics and new technology. Professor Savita Kerkar is a senior professor in biotechnology and the dean of the School of Biological Sciences and Biotechnology at Goa University. She has a PhD in marine sciences, marine microbiology, Goa University, from Goa University. She has 30 years of teaching experience, over 40 research publications in peer-reviewed national and international journals. She has published 5 book chapters, successfully completed 3 projects from CSIR, 1 from MOES, 1 DBT project, and 1 DSTE project. She has guided 11 PhD students and is presently guiding 5 students and 1 international PhD student. Professor Savita has also guided 1 postdoctoral student and is presently mentoring 2 postdoctoral students. She has guided 1 MPhil student and 80 MSc dissertations from marine biotechnology and biotechnology programs. She has delivered a number of talks and presented papers on aspects of microbiology and marine biotechnology at various national and international conferences. Savita ma'am is also a recipient of several awards, to name a few: British Council Scholarship in 1997, Lupin Visiting Fellowship, Endowment Award in 2012. She has also represented India in the 3rd Arctic Expedition in 2009 and the 13th Arctic Expedition as a research scientist in 2019. She has been also awarded as the Best Teachers Award, Goa State, in 2019-20. Professor Savita's areas of interest include microbial diversity and bioprospecting extremophilic environments, hypersaline salt pans, and polar ecosystems. She has also worked on bioremediation of heavy metals using heterotrophic and halotolerant bacteria and SRBs from salt pans and the Arctic. It is indeed a privilege to hear you today, ma'am. I welcome Professor Savita Kerkar to take over the stage.
Thank you very much, and welcome for this new topic, which I'm going to talk about today. This is my fascination. Though I'm a marine microbiologist, I'm also a biotechnologist, and this technology fascinates me when we integrate nature and technology together. So I want to start with a question. Can you all guess what this is? Since most of you are zoologists, can you give an attempt and just tell me, just in 2 seconds, what it looks like? What it looks like? Scales of of shark. Yes? Who said shark? Very good. It is. So they are scales of sharks. Okay. Now, biomimetics. I'll introduce the topic after I show you what this scale looks like here. So the scale of sharks is composed of dentin, an animal, and it has a ribbed layer pattern, which is integrated into each other. And a very interesting thing is when sharks have this kind of a surface on their body, they can reduce the friction to such an extent that you can't even hear them swimming. They're very, very swift in swimming. And what happens is they slow down the water currents with these ribbed scales of theirs. And they're, and that's how the friction in the water gets reduced. So in the marine environment, we have lots of problems in biofouling, where the front part of the ship gets fouled with lots of organisms and reduces the drag of the ship when it's moving. So in such cases, scientists are trying to use natural things from animals and the observation around them of the natural environment around them and integrate this into a new technology. So one of the things which is used is the shark skin, and you can see the shark scales. There are different types of shark scales in hammerhead, mako, dusty shark, smooth hammerhead, Galapagos shark. Each one has a different pattern. And NASA scientists were able to copy these microscopic patterns and introduce this into a cloth or like a fiber. And it has many, many uses. Now, if you can reduce the drag by 1%, you can save one aircraft approximately 25 gallons of petrol. So this is used to reduce the drag. So they've used this for aeroplanes. They've used this for hospital walls, because the shark skin also prevents any bacteria from entering it. You don't get any contamination. So especially when a patient is operated, you need a very sterile environment. So that has a shark skin room. I mean, it's not a shark skin, but the design from the shark skin. Another thing is on transportation, like in planes. And this has also got a big award, the plane which showed the least consumption of petrol, which had this pattern on the surface of the plane. Another thing is the swimsuit. Swimsuits have been designed with the same scale patterns. And in the Olympics, 2008 Olympics, the the sportsman who had worn this shark skin was the first to get the first prize, because the reduction in the friction was so less that he could swim very fast. So so this is biomimetics. So to introduce biomimetics, we are looking around us at nature and trying to get ideas by looking at the natural things and implementing them in the technology. So the next thing, so biomimetics, we have to give the credit to a scientist called Otto Schmidt, and he's the first one in 1950 who used to look at octopus and sepia and see them swimming so swiftly that he thought that, there is some swiftness in this which we have to integrate into our technology, because he was a electrical person who used to deal with electrical impulses. And whenever we used to operate the old model phones, there was a multiple sound which used to come like tick 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 tick, so he wanted to reduce that sound. And that's how he implemented the impulse or the electric impulse from sharks into this electrical system and reduce the sounds also. So this was done as an attempt in 1950s. Now, if you see a lotus leaf, you can see that the lotus leaf has a surface which is hydrophobic, and that's why any water which falls on the surface always remains on the surface, right? You can just spill it off. And there are lots of plants you haven't realized that the idea has come from a lotus leaf, and this cloth is called the nanotel. So it is we call it a fiber of nanoparticles, right? Nano cloth, we call it. Comes in the market, it's a bit more expensive, but this has a hydrophobicity where it doesn't absorb any dirt and keeps it on the surface of the cloth. So you can just rinse the cloth with water and all the dirt gets off. At the same time, you don't get any scratch on the surface. So it's very useful in cleaning cars also. So in this picture there, you can see the nano cloth, which is compared to the lotus leaf. So if you see an overview of nature around you, we have our bacteria, which a small bacterial organism is 1 to 4 mu in size, but it does everything which a human being can do, except, I mean, with your limbs and all, but the functions which it performs in such a small cell is the biological motor which it has. So it has the capacity to function in such a very small cell, and that is what is used in biomimetics. The second thing is plants. We have chemical energy conversion. We have hydrophobicity, which you have seen on the leaves, the self-cleaning aspect, the drag reduction, the hydrophilicity, the addition and the motion. In insects, spiders, lizards, and frogs, we have super hydrophobicity. Any water which falls on the surface of a skin of lizards and insect just falls off. It doesn't get absorbed into them. And that's why they are cold-blooded and they can adjust very well to the temperature around them. Then we have the aquatic animals, which have a low hydrodynamic drag and also produce a lot of energy. We have the birds, which show a aerodynamic lift, the high coloration, the camouflage, and the insulation. And we have the moth eye and the structural coloration in the moth eye, which gives it a structural coloration. And we have the fur skin of polar bear, which has a specific type of a function of thermal insulation. And we have different biological systems which have a self-healing property and a sensory device property. So the first thing which I want to show you is the burr flower. I think all of you must have gone to the fields. If you are a person who roams and gets wild berries in Goa, or if you sit with your mobiles at home, then you must have not observed this. But if you go to the field, then you must have always got these seeds entangled in your trousers or a skirt which you wear, and then you pull them out at home. Even if you put your clothes in the washing machine, those seeds won't come out. And this is because of a specific structure of these plants, seeds, which allow them for insect pollination or animal pollination. So you can see the burr plant, which has a natural hook, and that's how it attaches to your textile cloth. And this has been adapted in Velcro. All of you know what Velcro is, right? So the Velcro tape, which is designed, is exactly from the burr flower. So these are the seeds which come. My doggy gets it every day entangled in his ears. So I like this example a lot, and that's the Velcro you can see there. Another example is the snail shells. Now, whenever a snail is around and the temperature is very high, suppose it's 65 degrees centigrade, this snail has the capacity to survive. But actually, the shell is very, very thin, so it can get easily heated up. But the snail has a specific mechanism, and I'll tell you how. I mean, there is a principle that in rural areas we have 4 degrees higher temperature than the urban areas have a higher temperature than the rural areas, and it's 4 degrees higher, they always say. And this is because of the urban effect, because one building is next to the other building, and that's what we experience in Goa nowadays with the concrete jungles which we have by cutting all the trees. So this is the Sphincteroshale bosseri snail, which lives in the desert. Okay, and it has a mechanism to survive these high temperatures. So if the outside temperature is 65, then the soil gets heated to 65. So the snail has such a mechanism that it will move to the middle of the shell or to the top of the shell. So if the top of the shell has a very high temperature, it's normally less on the earth. So it will move in the middle. And the top part of the snail's shell has such a reflective index that it reflects all the rays and keeps the shell cool on the surface. So it moves to the middle. So this mechanism or the that's in the center of the snail, and that is how they remain cool. So this is also a property which has been adapted in architecture, where they have done constructions with reference to the what do you say, the architecture of the shell of the snail, so that you can live in the center with both the areas heated up. And this has been adapted in Dubai also. Also, there is an insulation in the snail which keeps it cool, and this has been adapted in your scooters or your motorbikes, where the seat of the scooter has a padding which is just 1 centimeter elevated from the bottom, so that the sunlight cannot heat your seat. Otherwise, when you sit, it's very hot, right? So this has been applied also in roofs, where you can use foam, bubble foams, and this is also come from the idea of the snail, and also the motorbike seat, which I was telling you. The next example is the Bornean frog. When we were small, we used to pluck the leaves of kanna. I don't know how many of you know. Kanna are the black berries. We get wild berries. So if you roll that leaf up and just press it, you can make a whistle, right? So this idea which we got was from the Bornean tree frog, which makes these sounds to attract its partner for mating. Okay, so it makes a sound which vibrates in such a way that you get the same vibrational sound when you make this whistle. So the whistle was adapted from this Bornean frog. The next part is marine mussels, Mytilus edulis or Mytilus gallovensialis. which we have, this muscle has a specific shinani. It is called, in Konkani, it's called shinani. So it has a specific function where the foot comes out and senses the area around it, and then it produces a glue, which is like a super glue, and then the muscle will stick to that surface. So you must have eaten mussels at home, and you must have seen the byssus thread, which is black in color. Even if you pull it, it's so strong that it can't even break. So the marine biotechnologists have taken this protein. It's a very tenacious protein, and we don't have any glue in the market which is functional in water. So this protein has been used for making super glues, and this is a natural product, so it's not toxic at all. And sometimes when babies are born, small babies, human babies, if they are born with an abnormality, then sometimes you need to have an operation. So the fetal skin is very, very delicate. So in that case, they use this super glue to repair the skin of babies, of fetal babies. So it's a water resistant glue. Okay. Now, the next very interesting thing which really fascinates me is the spider web. Okay. Now, in a spider web, if you observe the spiders, no bird comes and eats the insects which the spider has stored for the next season for it. So the spider will catch mosquitoes, catch insects, wrap them around in a small ball, and keep them for. Okay. So there's no bird which comes and gets this ready-made food. No bird comes near a spider net. Why does that happen? I was always very curious how the spider nets are not broken by birds. We go and touch it, but the birds will never touch the spider net. So it so happened in Dubai that Dubai doesn't have many trees. It has only date trees, right? Because it's a desert. So they have built lots of skyscrapers. And they're mainly made up of this glass, reflective glass. So when the bird looks into that, they can see the shadows, I mean, the reflection of the trees which are in front, and they come flying to this surface, bang their heads, and die. So it so happened that you can see more than 1,500 birds used to fall and die per day in a specific locality which had very tall skyscrapers. And using the idea of the spider web, the scientist explored what is there in the spider web which prevents the birds from coming in and pecking at and breaking the net. So what the spiders do actually is they produce a special type of a fiber which reflects or produces UV light, and humans cannot see UV light, but birds can sense UV light. So they will never go to a structure which has very high concentration of UV light. So the people from Dubai who used to make these skyscrapers put this UV reflective compound in the glass which they made, and the glass was called Ornilux. Orni because ornitho, it comes from birds, and lux is a luxury with this material. So when people see the glass, it looks like this. But when the birds see the glass, it looks as if it has some striations, which is very dangerous for the birds to go and settle on. So because of this, we could save many, many birds from dying who used to bang their heads onto the glass. The next is called aquamodate filters. Now we all know that bacteria, gram positive, gram negative bacteria have aquaporins, which are pores which let the water, it's a water inlet, okay? And they can only take very pure water into their whole body. So such a small bacteria, which is just 1 to 2 mu in size, has such a mechanism to purify water and get only pure water into its body. So diatoms are also microalgae which produce these aquaporins, and they have a capacity to filter all the toxic pollutants. So this diatom shells are made up of silica. So this has a property with aquaporins to filter water. So this has been used in water filters, and that's why it's called aquamodate, okay, filters, which can filter pollutants from water. So it's used in water purification systems. The next is the foot pads. You must have seen the wall lizards walking on the walls right? And going right vertically upwards. You must have seen Spider-Man also, right? So Spider-Man also wears these socks. And when the shooting is initially done, Spider-Man was, told to wear these training shoes, which has a grip and you can walk on a vertical wall. Okay, and this idea has come from the footpads of lizards. Okay, so you can see different types of footpads, and they have a different application. The next example is the cooling termite mounds. We know that we have termites everywhere. In Africa, we have a maximum, areas which are, of course, protected because of the animals, specifically in Masai Mara. Masai Mara means termite mounds. So the whole area is crowded with these termite mounds, and it's very, very cool. So what the termites do is they process the soil and then defecate it, and that's how the termite mounds are made. So this compound which is used in making this maceration of the soil is used for making the walls of structures which are very, very in hot climatic conditions. So in Africa, the temperature goes up to 46 to 50 in some areas, and there are very less trees in those areas. So when they construct very tall buildings, then you have these walls which are very cool, made of the material of the termite mounds. The next example is a robotic example, and they have constructed a hand which is as flexible like a elephant trunk, which is made up of various series of linkage units which are assembled together. And this elephant trunk hand is used as a robot which can hold something very firmly and sturdy. And especially in brain surgeries, neurosurgery operations, when the doctors operate, you have to be very, very careful not to shake your hand. You have to be very stable. So robots are used to hold specific things when an operation is done. The next is the bullet train, which is known as Shinkansen. In Japanese, Shinkansen means kingfisher. So Japanese are very nature lovers, and you can see them very concerned about the environment as well. And they saw the swiftness of flying of this kingfisher, and also the way it does not make any sound when it has a dip in the water. So it goes just, darting into the water, catches its fish, and comes out without any sound. So this is the idea which was taken by the Japanese to reduce the friction of this train so that they could save petrol. And this is the kingfisher which you see there. And with this model, they constructed the Shinkansen train. I also went to Japan and spent money and sat in that train because I wanted to experience the swiftness of the train. So there's no sound at all in that, and it travels now 10% faster and uses 15% less electricity because the friction has been totally reduced. So that comes from the kingfisher. The next is butterfly wings. We all see these iridescent colors, and they have water resistant qualities. This has been adapted in various structures, especially the solar panels. When we put solar panels on our roofs, the main thing you have to do is clean the solar panels. If they are not clean and full of dust, they don't function. So these iridescent qualities of the butterfly wings, that material has been incorporated into solar panels, and that's how we can protect the panel. The next is an artificial sponge, which is designed to remove the pollutants, organic pollutants from water. So this is not a real sponge, but an artificial sponge, which is made up of nanoparticles of titanium oxide and cyclodextrin. So these two have been combined together to make this sponge. And once it absorbs all the pollutants, the sponge is taken out of the water and kept in the sun, because many of the pollutants are organic and they dissipate with the sunlight. So you can sterilize this sponge in sunlight and use it back in your contaminated water. The next is the sea urchin. I think all of you must have seen this on the beaches of Goa. We have them in Anjuna and Vagator. And one thing is, the sea urchin will love to attack you, right? because it has such beautiful spines that it just pokes you, and it's very, very painful. And the reason why it's painful is because these spines are made up of calcite, and calcite is the hardest substance which we have. Okay, and these spines have a self polishing mechanism by which they can polish themselves after they are blunt. So like we always sharpen our knives in the kitchen when we are cutting something, the same way the sea urchins will sharpen their spines automatically. So this calcite has been incorporated into what you say, mechanical objects or instruments which need a lot of sharpness. At the same time, if you see the mouth of the sea urchin, it has these 5 teeth. Okay, and this is more daunting than the spines. These teeth are so strong that they can even bite rocks and go into rocks, okay, to hide. So this hardness of the teeth has been used, incorporated into industrial instruments. Okay, so this is the application. This has been done in the University of Wisconsin by the students. Okay, so you should read this paper. These are all from publications. So this is an instrument which has been made, which is very, very hard. The next is the biowave. Okay, and this is just the way that macro algae, or we have kelps, which are called giant algae. They're present in the Atlantic, more temperate waters, and they attach to the bottom of the ocean and sway with the waves. This swaying of the waves can be used in hydroelectricity. So it is used in turbines to generate electricity. So you can see the biowave, which is adaptation of the algae, which is attached to the bottom of the sea. Then comes my polar bear from the Arctic, which always fascinates me. And this polar bear can remain without a sweater in the Arctic. We had to use about 5 to 6 sweaters, socks, 4 pants, 3 trousers, and so many things. But the polar bear can sustain itself in these -22 temperatures. Okay. And this is because it has a thermally insulated hair. Okay. If you look at the hair of the polar bear, it is hollow inside, and it minimizes the thermal conductivity, and it keeps the heat inside the body and doesn't draw it away from the body. And that's how the polar bear remains warm. And they also repel water. This hair repels water, and it also can stretch instead of breaking. The hair doesn't break, it stretches. So that's the polar bear hair. The next is the Mercedes Benz car. This was adapted, the design has been adapted by a box fish. And this fish is in the coral reefs. It's a very beautiful yellow fish which just swims in the coral reefs in the colorful environment there. And it has a very beautiful, streamlined, aerodynamic, and highly efficient body, which makes it swim into the water. This design has been adapted in the Mercedes Benz car. And you can see that the car has a diesel engine, and it runs at an average of 70 miles per gallon. So it requires very, very less petrol. That's why the price is very high. The next is Nautilus. Nautilus is a beautiful shell which is still available. It was supposed to be extinct. However, it can withstand all the human disaster. Okay. And it's still alive. And it has a mathematical model which has been incorporated in its cell, which gives you a Fibonacci frequency. Okay. And based on this, lots of architects have made spiral staircases using this Fibonacci frequency or formula from the chambers of this Nautilus fish. The next is the camouflage. The camouflage is how you change colors. Lots of human beings change color with the environment and with people, but this is another mechanism which animals have, where they change color with the surrounding, okay, to amalgamate into the surrounding so that they are well protected against their predators. Okay, and this is the way this has been adapted to make clothes for the army personnel, so that they can hide from the the other people who want to kill them. Okay, so they also have a bioluminescence, a property where they can show themselves to the others, that is the mate, and they have a property of camouflage by which they can hide themselves. So this is from all the cephalopods like sepia, octopus. Okay, all these this, and this is artificial cuttlefish which has been made with that formula. This is a monitoring water pollution robotic fish which has been used, so human beings don't need to go down and monitor the water pollution, but we send robotic fish to with a sensor which can tell us what is the degree of pollution. So you can put your specific sensor and then maneuver this robotic fish with a robotic control. Okay. Then we have a robotic squid. So this idea has been taken from the shape of the squid's body, and the Department of Osaka, the Naval Architecture and Ocean Engineering have made a robotic squid which has been adapted from the stingray and also the squid. And this has it makes a underwater searching operational project which goes to the benthic environment and can sense mines. Okay, because now human beings have already succeeded in destroying our planet, so now they're going to the ocean to destroy the bottom of it because we have a lot of minerals. This is a structure in Chicago which has been inspired by the spiral shell. All of you have seen this shell even on the Kakra beach here. So we get these beautiful shells, and this is applied to the swirling of the building. And this also reduces the friction. It's very stable in the wind also. And this is how it was designed. There's another building called which has been inspired by the Venus flower sponge, and you can see the Venus flower sponge there on the right, and it has a very intricate type of a structure, okay, in its shell, and this makes it withstand the underwater environment of the strong currents. However, this building has been made to sustain the wind on the terrestrial environment. So the same structure inside has been adapted into the walls of the building so that they can withstand very strong wind. Okay, and this got a prize in 2003, which is called the Skyscraper Award. Then we have solar power spy planes, which are inspired by bats. Okay? So this is totally a naval and an army issue, which is, very privatized. The idea is not told, but the inspiration was the bat. And this can go to whichever place you want with a bomb, or it can kill any person who you want to kill. So the Americans have a remote control over the whole world. So whoever they want to get rid of, they can send this bat and they will destroy you even without a sound. There's another B-2 Sleeth bomber which has been made, and this has a speed of 1010 kilometers per hour, and this has been inspired by the peregrine falcon. Okay, so you can see the falcon, the way it flies, and the same way you can see the plane. Okay. The next is, you can see whales, right? Whales are normally 80,000 pounds in weight. However, a small arm of the whale, which is a flipper, okay? This flipper is so designed to take the full weight of that whale. The whale can move and maneuver itself in whatever way it wants with that small flipper which comes on the surface and can turn the full whale's body. Now, this mechanism has been studied by the scientists, and they have adapted this in turbines. Okay, you can see the tubercles, and one of the fans is on the Goa airport. You can see a big fan on the Goa airport. If you see the blades of that, those are the adaptations from the turbines of the whale. So now you'll make a point to look at that. So when you go there next time, please see it. Okay. The next is the road studs. I think all of us know that the cats and dogs have a kind of material in its eye. It's called tapetum. Okay. And this is why their eyes twinkle at night. You can see them twinkling at night, right? Now, this principle has been used in the roads because at night we can't see the road properly. And especially in Goa, sometimes our electricity fails a lot. So at that time, you can see these lights which are embedded in the roads. So these also have a specific function, and these, sorry. So you can see the white marks the middle of the road, the red warns the drivers where the left side of the road is. Amber is the central reservation of a dual carriageway, so that you can park if you have a puncture or something. Green marks the edge of the main carriageway, and green and yellow, this means there are temporary adjustments happening to the road layout, especially when our bridge is constructed and it has already a problem. We have a partition now in on our bridge, right, on our Atal Setu at present. So they have these lights, you can see them at night. Okay, so this is inspired by the cat's eye. These are vacuum suckers, which we use for various appliances in the bathroom to stick to the tiles. Okay, and these suckers, rubber suckers are made, which are inspired by the octopus suckers. So this is how we can use biomimetics, and this is a topic which has fascinated me a lot. So I want to apply it in with microorganisms. Okay, I'm thinking of ways. I don't know when I'll do it, but I'll do it. Okay, and the last slide over here is my thank you slide for you for a patient hearing. And this slide also shows you a architecture of honeybees, which is so intricate and beautiful, which you can use for your cupboards or shelves. And that's also made by nature. Okay, thank you very much for your patient hearing.
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
madam, for wonderful talk and the
Thanks.
new technologies. And any questions?
Any questions you have?
Yeah. Any quick questions? Couple of questions.
You all can also come up with lots of ideas, but you have to open your eyes and look at nature and not your mobiles. We normally search for new things in the mobile, but you can't get new things on the mobile. There are already documented things which come in your mobile. If you want to do an innovation, you have to look at nature, right? Any questions you have? I hope I've not put you to sleep. Nobody has slept, I think. Okay.
No, no, no.
My eyes
They were
are
all
wide
awake.
open, like cat's eyes. I can see them twinkling. Yes, any questions?
Any questions?
Pardon? Mostly all of them. Everything comes to India first, I think, because India loves to have innovations. Like these suckers we use in our bathrooms for so many things, na, which stick on the wall. Bathrooms, kitchens, you've seen those this na plugs. Even the swimming suits have come into the market in India. I've seen them in the market in India. Very expensive, but how many were invented in India? The Velcro is invented in India. The nano towel is invented in India. The cloth which we use. Many inventions in India. America is top in this, but the observation come from Indians who are employed in America. That's what I would say. Yeah. Yes, any other questions?
Any other questions?
No? Yes.
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 Do they emit it, or do they like reflect that UV light?
Reflect UV light from sunlight. The surface is so constructed that the radiations which come from the sun, UV light is reflected. So that UV light can be detected by the birds. Okay, they can sense that. Humans can't sense it. That's why the birds don't go near spider webs.
Yes, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Let me add a couple of things what Madam has told. Our Vande Bharat train, nose of Vande Bharat train is a copy of the kingfisher bird. And Madam was telling about fabric. Since my fascination is for silk, Karnataka silk has come with a hydrophobic silk sari. Even if something falls on it, just do it like this. That's end of it. Your sari will be taken care. But that sari cost you about 3 lakh rupees for one sari. That you have to
Oh.
think. But it is hydrophobic. What they show, they make a boat from the sari, put a mug of water, shake it, then release it. Your sari is totally dry. So these are some of the mimic what I have done from the this one. Particularly, for example, bird's feather. No matter
Yeah.
what kind of water is there, it will
Yes.
not be staying on that.
Yes.
These are some of the things they are fabricated.
Yeah, there are lots of examples.
Lot of things are
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And
I-
regarding your silk, you as a tell, which is stronger than your
Cotton.
this web. I mean web ka bare mein.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah, last question. Yes.
Pardon? Huh. Yes. Mostly birds sleep at night except the owls. And the owls never go through to spider webs. There is something which you can do is you can make a fabric which is allergic to haldi. I think haldi is one of our spices which can keep a stain in anything. The stain never goes away, right? In our spices, and we use haldi in all our masalas. So I always used to think of designing something to remove this stain. You can put lemon immediately and then soap, it goes away immediately. But then otherwise you get a nice pink coloration when you put it in soap, and then it becomes yellow again, but the stain remains forever on a white material. So you all should work with haldi to eliminate. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
very interesting talk.
Thank you.
Actually, all the students, just to open up your mind, Madam has given a glimpse of several things. And similarly, plants also have several structures
Yes.
which also been used for many of
Yeah,
these
yeah.
technologies.
Yes.
So you please be innovative, because now innovation is also main thing
Yeah.
what we are promoting. So I take this opportunity to thank ma'am
Thank
for
you.
this wonderful talk,
Thank you.
and all of us we got benefited from this. Thank you. ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Savita ma'am, for the very interesting talk. I request Professor Krishnan sir to kindly present a token of appreciation to Professor Savita Kerkar. Thank you, sir. Moving on to the next talk of today's session, we have Professor T.T. Ajith Kumar. Professor Ajith Kumar has obtained his Masters of Science and PhD in Marine Biology from the Center of Advanced Study in Marine Biology, Annamala University, Tamil Nadu. He has 27 years service in teaching and research, attached with Annamala University and ICAR. Presently, he is serving as principal scientist at the ICAR, National Bureau of Fish Genetic Resources, and heading its regional center, Peninsular and Marine Fish Genetic Resource Center at Kochi, Kerala. Dr. Ajith Kumar's scientific interest involves breeding of marine ornamental organisms. He has contributed extensively towards integrating marine ornamental conservation and sustainable development. The team led by him successfully developed brood stocks for 13 species of clown, 10 species of damsels, 5 species of ornamental shrimp, besides developed technologies for the hatchery production on 10 clown species and 3 snails and 43 book chapters. He has guided 13 PhDs and 10 MPhil students and presently has 18 pursuing their PhD. For his extensive service and achievements, Dr. Ajith Kumar was awarded the Best Teacher Researcher Award at Annamala University, the INSA Fellow Award, Best Scientist and Performer by the ICAR National Bureau of Fish Genetic Resources. It is indeed a pleasure to have you, sir, with us. I invite Dr. Ajith Kumar to kindly present his talk. Yeah, if you just want to point out, then you can use
Thank you very much, madam, for a brief introduction. Good afternoon to all. Most respected chair, rapporteur madam, all and faculty members of this prestigious university, and my dear students, my good friend Dr. Pradeep, scientist from Fishery Survey of India. I take this opportunity to extending my sincere thanks to the organizers for having given me the wonderful opportunity to share the research finding of us to the in front of the students. Friends, you all are aware about the ornamental fishes. It is a colorful organisms. My previous speaker, Madam Gas, took us in a different way. Really, it is an enjoyable talk. So my slides, most of the slides are more beautiful fishes only. So I will not make you much boring. So when she was introducing me, she told our achievements and all other things. Sir, our system is behind publication, product, patents. If you are bring out publication, then we will get promotion. If you are bring out products or patents, then only we are getting further elevation and all. So at the end, what will be there? Nothing. So my intention is whatever we have to do in the laboratory, it should reach the common public. So whatever science, so that science can be provide some food and bread and butter to the poor people, mean it will be give a great satisfaction to us. So in that way, myself and my team, the team attached with the ICAR, National Bureau of Genetic Resources, we are working with some conservation as well as livelihood program. So I'll be sharing my experience with this program, and I am expecting your suggestions and criticisms. So before I am going to the topic, so I'll be just briefing about the institute which I am attached. So you all are aware about the ICR, Indian Council of Agriculture Research. It has more than 110 research institute. Among the 110 research institute, we have dedicated institute, 8 research institute for exclusive for fisheries. So CMFRI, SIBA, SIFA, and CAFE. There is a Central University in Mumbai. They are teaching the fisheries graduation as well as PhD program. Then for the Himalayan fisheries, we have the Directorate of Cold Water Fisheries. Apart from this, the National Bureau of Fish Genetic Resources, where I am attached, I can say the rest of the other 7 institutes, they are working with the present fishery sector, and our institute is working for the future fisheries, because mainly our focus is related with the fishery sector only, conservation aspect only. So but I can say we are working for the future fisheries sector. So in addition to this fisheries exclusive ICR Fisheries Institute, we have another several organizations, those who are working with this fisheries and aquaculture activities. Okay, friends, you might have aware about the PMMSI scheme. Recently, Government of India has launched a very big scheme for Blue Revolution. You all are aware already. India have succeeded with the Green Revolution thanks to Professor M.S. Swaminathan, and White Revolution thanks to Mr. Korean. So now this is the time for the Blue Revolution, that is for aquaculture and fisheries. So my young minds, those who are studying in zoology, you have lot of opportunity in the coming days to work with the fisheries and aquaculture sector. Actually, it is a very huge amount the government has allotted. It is more than 20,000 crore. Part of the money is being spent by the central government and state government as well as the public sector. They are also involving this. Then I'll be coming to the chapter on aquarium trade. Aquarium, you all are familiar with this aquarium. Now science is saying if you are keeping the fish in your home, it is reducing your blood pressure. It is also a very good exercise for our eyes. If you are keep watching the fish continuously on a tank, the fish used to go here and there. It move here and there. Automatically, our eyeballs will move here and there. So it is a very good exercise for our eye. Also, science is saying that it is good therapy for reducing our blood pressure. So there is a very good demand for ornamental organisms. Earlier, people used to rear only freshwater. Now that industries gradually switch over to the marine organism, because we have lot of technology on the marine fisheries, marine aquarium keeping. I will come to the next slide. See, this is the technological development in the aquarium sector. Actually, synthetic salt is available in the market. Earlier days, those who are lying in the coastal or marine region, they can able to rear marine ornamental fishes. But now, due to the development of science, and people, wherever we want to keep marine ornamental, we can, because synthetic salt, it is available in the almost all the aquarium shops. In addition, so many sophisticated instruments like protein skimmer, denitrifier, ozonizer, so easily you can rear the marine ornamental anywhere in the world. See, if you are seeing the business potential of ornamental fishes, the present demand is very big, but however, our present supply is too small. Why I am saying the present supply is too small means, see, nowadays you all are witnessing the apartment system. Recently, Honorable Supreme Court has given a judgment: you are not allowed to keep any pet animals on the house, because sometimes it used to make noise, so it may give some trouble to the neighbor. So one gentleman, all of the sudden, he filed the court on the Supreme Court, and the court has given a judgment: you are not allowed to keep any pet animals, particularly these noise making animals, in the apartment system. So for our relaxation, for our recreation, the only alternative thing is keeping ornamental fishes. You can keep ornamental fishes wherever you can, even your bedroom or drawing room, wherever the space is available, that you can. So that is the advantage. Besides, the technology has also grown, so that is the advantage of the sector. So this was the scenario some 20-25 years back. A poor farmer, a poor fish breeder, he used to breed the fishes on his backyard, and he packed in polythene bags and used to sell the fishes in the with his bicycle. But now this is the present scenario. This is the example for the development of science in aquarium technology. This photograph was given by one of my friend in USA. Actually, the intention behind this is creation of awareness among the public about biodiversity conservation. This vessel daily, it used to run the city on 20-25 kilometers. So it will create the awareness among the public about the biodiversity conservation. So my intention is the technological development in aquarium keeping. So friends, actually, you know that ornamental is concerned, we have two groups: freshwater as well as marine. So the freshwater is concerned, we have indigenous fishes and exotic fishes. Indigenous, that is the native resources of our. So India, we have blessed with the Eastern Ghats and Western Ghats and Northeast, plenty of our own resources. Ornamental fishes are there. These all ornamental fishes we have documented from the Western Ghats regions. So this is about the exotic fishes. I think you all are aware about this fish, the discus, Oscar, gold, and angel. These all fishes are non-native of India. However, all of them are domesticated in India. Several breeding population we have established, and it is domesticated in India. So the first one is indigenous, our native germplasm. This one is exotic. However, we have domesticated in Indian waters. So this is the another one group, that is the Arona. Actually, it is again exotic, but however, it is not domesticated, because these seedlings are, we don't have breeding technology of this fish in India. So this fish is coming from other countries, and we are fattening it, and we are supplying to the hobbyist for rearing. Actually, you won't believe that the below one fish, that red chili arona, the cost of the fish is 7 lakhs rupees. The cost of the one individual fish is cost is 7 lakhs rupees. Actually, people have a wrong belief. It is a vastu fish. If you keep this fish in your home, you will get money, name, fame, like that. People are believing. Most of the industrialists, most of the cine actors, they are maintaining this fish in their home. Actually, for this fish, it won't accept any dead material as a feed. It used to take only live fish. So if you are keeping this fish in your home, every day you have to sacrifice 5-7 goldfish. So however, people are behind on this, and this have a very good demand. This red chili arona have a very good demand in our Indian market. Then this is another one interesting. You all are aware about the goldfish, Carassius auratus. See that center one, that is the original strain of the Carassius auratus. But because of crossbreeding, genetically modification, more than 100 variants of goldfishes are available in the market, because every day the hobbyist industry is growing like anything. So according to the takers' interest, they are doing some genetic modification, crossbreeding, selective breeding, all this program there. If you are suppose check the DNA of this bubble eye or fan tail, it reflects the Carassius auratus, but the appearance is just different from the original strain. Okay. Next, this is another one interesting fish called glass fish. Actually, the center one, that was the original color of the fish. The cost of the fish is just 2 rupees. It is plenty available in our water bodies. The cost is just 2 rupees. But this aquarium traders, what they are doing is, they used to collect the fishes from the natural waters, and they are injecting some color powder in the fish. Actually, this datu yung, datu yung, they are mixing the color powder with the datu yung and simply injecting. Of course, some mortality will be there. However, they are selling this for at the cost of 50 rupees to 100 rupees for fish. So these all are the against ethics things. However, since it is attached with the livelihood of the poor people, government is also not coming forward to take any severe actions. So why I am telling all this thing is, if India has developed a lot of technology on the marine as well as freshwater ornamental fishes, this kind of activities can be stopped. So once if you have plenty of captive propagated animals in the aquarium shops, there is no need of doing this kind of things. So I will come to my own topic about the marine ornamental fishes. Actually, marine ornamental fishes, Madam has also shown so many slides about this boxfish and octopus, like there's so many marine. So marine, name a color, you can get it from the sea. That is the advantages of marine ornamental fishes. So I can say it is a living jewels of the ocean. You know that seahorse, it is a different shape. Then our starfish, sea lily, crab, sea anemone, all have different color. The center one, that is nudibranch. So different color, different shape. Of course, we have lot of fishes in freshwater system also. But however, in marine, we have plenty, I can say. So I told that there is a very good demand for the ornamental fishes. So for collecting these fishes, the collectors, the poor fishermen, they are adapting some destructive fishing practices. So for collecting the food fishes, we have well-developed technology. We are operating nets, we are operating hooks and all. My friend Dr. Pradeep will explain in his next session. But we have standard protocol for collecting fishes. But in the case of ornamental fish collection, they are adapting some destructive fishing practices. You know that cyanide is a poison. So trace quantity of cyanide they are dissolving in water, and they are simply spreading in the coral reef region during the low tide time. So all the fish available in the surrounded area, it loses its conscious, and this fellow, whatever his target fish, that only he used to collect. The rest of the fishes he won't bother. So target fish means which one get attractive price more than 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees. He is targeting that fish. He is not at all bothering about the non-target fishes like this buffer, boxfish, other butterflies and all. Then it is a great loss to our egg, larvae and other biodiversity. So it should be actually government is taking lot of efforts. This forest department is taking lot of efforts to stop all these things in the coral reef region. But however, destructive fishing practices is still going on in somewhere. So the next one is bycatchers. Actually, that blue color, that angel fish, if the fish is live, the cost of the fish is 2000 rupees. But if it is dead and come to the fish market, the cost is just 10 rupees. Imagine the value comes, how it's come down. So because of this bycatch, actually the fishermen, they don't have much awareness about all these things. So they are simply bringing out to the fish market. So we have to create lot of awareness to stop all this thing, this bycatches. Now we are talking about climate change. We also feeling the effect of climate change. So the photograph which you are seeing is we documented from during 2021 in Lakshadweep Island. So the left side, what you are seeing is the sea anemone, Hedractis magnifica, that has been taken during February month. But the same year, during May 15th or 16th, we took photograph of the same site. See that anemone has lost its susandale because of the sea surface temperature elevation. When this healthy anemone, when we took the photograph, the sea surface temperature was 29. But just 2 degrees centigrade elevation, it loses its susandale. So if it continues for quite 1 or 2 weeks, definitely this animal will get got mortality. Okay, so likewise, the below one is, that is the Tridacna. It is a marine mollusk. It is an endangered animal. See how it's beautiful, that violet color. Because of the temperature elevation, it is losing its susandale. So natural phenomena as well as the anthropogenic effect, we are losing our biodiversity. Of course, the National Institute of Oceanography, NIO, you all are aware that they have the technology for coral propagation, but however, it is taking long time to grow. So it is cost effective as well as time consuming process also. Now, this is a serious threat in now biodiversity. Actually, most of you, those who are having knowledge about this aquarium fishes, you might have seen that suckermouth catfish, suckermouth cat. Those who are maintaining this community aquarium, they used to keep this fish. This is a scavenger fish, sir. If you are keeping 10 goldfish along with this suckermouth cat, it used to consume the uneaten feed and fecal matter of other fish. But this fellow is a fast growing one. This is a fast growing one. Other fishes will grow very slow. So the hobbyist, what he will do, once it will grow a little big, it used to agitate the water and all. So simply our people collect the fish and throwing near the water body. Instead of killing the fish, they are throwing the fish into the near the water body. Recently, River Kaveri, the breeding population of this fish has been reported. Of course, it is an exotic fish, but available in Indian aquarium trade. But now in our natural water body also it is reported. Next, the other one is, that is the fish, that right side fish is Paku fish. It is legally allowed to rear in aquarium market as well as food fish aquaculture. But in the name of Paku, nowadays this piranha fish is coming. Piranha, you know that it is a highly carnivorous fish. Highly carnivorous. If piranha is there in a ecosystem, freshwater ecosystem, it will clear all the biodiversity. Nothing will be there. So it is a highly carnivorous fishes. It used to consume all this. So these all are the threats to the biodiversity. So the previous slide I shown the exotics, impact of exotic about the freshwater. Here what you are seeing is, these all are the fishes not available in Indian waters. However, it is plenty available in our aquarium trade. Actually, the National Fisheries Development Board, Government of India, under Ministry of Fisheries, there is an organization in Hyderabad. They have given approval for importing 93 fishes for aquaculture as well as aquarium trade. But however, we, the National Bureau of Fish Genetic Resources, we have documented more than 500 fishes in the aquarium market in Indian aquarium, mostly entering through illegal trade, illegal entry only. Yeah. So what is the alternative? The alternative way is, we have to bring out more technology on marine ornamental aquaculture. So already I told destructive fishing practices, then overexploitation. I think you know that seagulls. Once upon a time, our water was blessed with plenty of seagulls. Now it is in the scheduled list because of overexploitation. Then the selective harvesting, it is an interesting thing. Among the marine ornamental fishes, all the male fishes are beautiful. than the female. So the collector, the fish collector, he doesn't know which one is male, which one is female. He used to collect which one is more attractive, then only he will get a good price. So alternatively, if you are continuously harvesting the male fish from a particular system, the reproductive strategy will be getting failed. So that can be overcome. Then the hatchery bred fishes. If you are producing a fish in hatchery and taking to the aquarium trade, the fish is hardier, it will survive longer, so automatically you will get attractive prices. So hence the ornamental aquaculture is a long-term sustainable way for the conservation as well as livelihood promotion. Friends, you know that guppy, gold, molly, all these fishes are the top 10 fishes. Likewise, these fishes are the top 10 fishes in marine aquarium trade. First one is damsel, surgeon major, then cardinal fish, parrot fish, surgeon, lionfish, then wrasse, butterfly, then angel, trigger, and cloud. Tail region, it resembles the old Arabic letter of La Illallaga. So it has been described by a Russian scientist and he has published it in a number of journals. Actually, India, we have blessed with these fishes. In Gulf of Mannar, so many of our diving, we have noticed these fishes. But maintaining this fish in captivity is somewhat very difficult. Based on the reproductive strategies of the fishes, we can categorize these fishes into 4 groups. One is egg depositor, another one is egg scatter, third one is mouth brooder, and the fourth one is live bearers. So egg depositor, there the parental care is more. The best example is clown and damsel. India have well-developed technology. Egg scattering, angel and damsel, angel and butterfly fishes. Actually, these very beautiful fishes, angel and butterflies. However, we don't have technology because this egg scattering very difficult to maintain in captivity as well as rearing because the parental care is totally zero. The third one is mouth brooder. It is again interesting. Actually, the female used to lay the egg, the male used to fertilize it and keep its mouth for 6 to 7 days. Till it's hatch out, it won't accept any feed material, that male fish. The fourth one is live bearers. Again, the female used to lay the egg on the pouch of the male seahorse. So pouch of the male seahorse and the male seahorse only used to give birth. So among the living organism, the seahorse the male is facing the labor pain. That is the interesting thing in seahorse. So I shown the different strains of this thing goldfish. Likewise, now they are started bringing out the designer clownfishes in designer clownfishes because the takers' interest are growing like anything. Day by day, they are different, showing interest to getting something different. So now they are bringing out a different strain. If you can check the DNA and did molecular analysis, it reflects either Ambipraea percula or ocellaris of the clownfish only, but different designing and different structure they are bring out through crossbreeding, selective breeding, and some genetical modification. So based on the previous slide, we did an experiment with our own laboratory. Actually, if you are watch the thing, see the left one is female, Ambipraea ocellaris, the right one is percula. Both are different species. The genus is same, however, the species is different. We accommodated both the fishes in one tank, but more than 1.5 to 2 years, we used to sacrifice one fish because the one fellow used to kill the other one. So we used to sacrifice, but after 2.5 years, we got a successful pair and we have brought out the young ones. Okay, yeah. Now this is about the clownfish. Actually, you know that there was a cartoon movie on Finding Nemo. After that, this fish got very familiar. It is a best example for mutual relationship. Both the clownfish and sea anemone, both are the partners. They both are getting benefited, and it have the peculiar character called protandrous hermaprodism. That is, the male can able to change its sex as a female. So that. And in Maharashtra, we, with the support of Mangrove Foundation, Department of Forest, we established a hatchery facility at Thane district, and there we have accommodated 10 different species of clownfish. We will be breeding and regularly supplying to the young ones to beneficiaries of Sindhudurg district. Those who are from that region, you can very well see the places that 15 cluster mode rearing unit, around 95 families, they are getting regular income through this clownfish rearing. This is the master facility available in Thane, Airoli of Thane. So we'll be supplying the young ones to the beneficiaries in Sindhudurg as well as the Thane district. So this is about the live feed. I will not be going to brief. So these are the fishes brooder, mainly targeting for clownfishes. Mainly we are targeting for the supply to the beneficiary. So this is the breeding cycle. The fish laid egg, then this is just 1 month babies. This size will be supplying to the beneficiaries. They will be rearing for another 2 months and they are bringing out the market. Okay, so this is about the low cost filtration system we developed. You know that the excretory product of fish is ammonia. So ammonia load will increase, means it will infect the fish. So the through this biological filtration, this nitrosomonas will cultured. So nitrosomonas will convert the ammonia into nitrate, and nitrobacter will play it convert into nitrate. So there is no harm in culture of the fishes. So we have developed the packing technology. Actually, packing also most important. So using this clove extract, we developed a low cost technology, and that also we have extended the technology to the beneficiaries. Then we are facing a lot of problem with the disease also, tail rot, fin rot. But initially we have given some antibiotic treatment, but later part we have treated the fishes with the mangrove herbals. The Exocaria agalaka, one mangrove plant you might have known, that has given promising result. The latex of the Exocaria agalaka plant we have mixed with the feed and given, that F1 generation brought out from the fish got very good disease resistant capacity. These all are the beneficiary units functioning in Sindhudurg district. I'll be tell 1 or 2 slides. I'll be briefing about the activities in Lakshadweep. Actually, Lakshadweep, you know, there are 36 islands scattered in Arabian Sea. There is no livelihood option there, only coconut and tuna. So there we have established a hatchery with the support of DBT, and there we are mainly focusing with the ornamental shrimps. See, these all are the ornamental shrimps. So what we are doing in Maharashtra, that is fishes. Here we are doing with the ornamental shrimp. This don't have the consumption value. This have only for recreation purpose. So these all are the ornamental shrimps we have documented. So here I want to say that we brought out 2-3 new species also. New species, it has been accepted in Sutaxa journal also. So this is about the ornamental shrimps we have produced 2 species. We have commercialized the technology. So there we are giving hands-on training to 1 month training to the beneficiaries, women beneficiaries, and we have introduced a concept called community aquaculture. So through this community aquaculture, whatever we are bringing out, that we can recently introduced as a nano aquaria. So tabletop aquaria for marine ornamental shrimps, like that one concept we have introduced. So we are running short of time, so I'll be skipping most of the slides. So students, those who are interested, I'll be giving my mail ID. You can feel free to write to me, or you can WhatsApp me. I will share my things to you all people. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
This is a wonderful idea. Yeah, please, you can contact him for any further information. And thank you very much, sir, for the very colorful slides and talk. And maybe one question, if anyone have. Yes, sir.
Artificially prepared seawater.
Yes, sir.
Especially in the inland areas, we don't
Yes,
have the
yes,
marine
yes,
water.
we
We can.
Actually, sir, breeding is somewhat difficult, but rearing is easy possible.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. And thank you very much, sir, once
Thank you.
again.
Thank you.
And since we are running short of time, then
Okay.
we
Thank
need
you,
to
sir.
wind up with the question. Yes. So just 1 minute.
Thank you, sir. I would request the chairperson, Professor Krishnan, to kindly present a memento to Professor Ajith Kumar. Thank you, sir. Session would be by Dr. Pradeep HD. Dr. Pradeep is the fisheries scientist at the Fisheries Survey of India, Murmuga Zonal Base. He has a PhD in zoology and marine biology from 2015 on the topic Studies on Selective Snappers of Madras Coast with reference to their reproductive strategies from University of Madras, Chennai. Dr. Pradeep has 31 research articles to his credit and is currently working on studies on distribution, abundance, and biology of the oceanic resources of Indian EEZ, Elasmobrax parasitology, new records of marine fishes from Andaman and Nicobar Islands. I welcome you, sir, to this session. Dr. Pradeep would be talking on marine fisheries of India and sustainable fishing methods.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. So at the onset, I'm very much grateful to the committee, the chairperson and the dean of the Goa University, who has given me an opportunity to share my experience among young researchers and the senior professors and scientific faculties. So today I'm talking about the marine fisheries in India and sustainable fishing methods. So in the forenoon session, Director of Fisheries, Government of Goa has put more light on the sustainable fisheries, and Ajith Kumar sir has put more light on the ornamental fisheries. So mackerel, sardine, shallow water fishes, and colorful fishes has been already been dealt with. Now let's move towards the oceanic fisheries, the large size fisheries, and the demersal fisheries. So this is the exclusive economic zone of Indian EEZ. It's 2.02 million square kilometer. Then, as you all know, the fisheries is a major important source of food, nutrition, and employment in India, as it is a developing country. So this sector, the fishery sector provides about 16 million fishers and fish farmers at primary level, and almost twice the number along the value chain. So fish being an affordable, rich source of animal protein is one of the healthiest option to mitigate hunger and malnutrition, mainly in the developing countries. The share of fishery sector in the total GDP at current prices increased from 0.40% in 1950-51 to 1.1% in 2021. So in 2021, the country has exported around 1.36 million tons of seafood worth 7.76 billion US dollars. So the sector has been showing a steady growth in the total gross value add and accounts for about 6.72% share in the agricultural GDP of our country. So the total fishery potential. So everybody was asking what is the potential and what is the sustainable yield and all. No? So the total fishery potential has been estimated around 22.31 million metric tons. Of the marine fishery potential is 5.31 million metric tons, out of which we were around 4.71, 4.76 is the what we are harvesting. So let's start with the world capture fisheries and aquaculture production. So global fish production has reached around 214 million tons in 2020, with a total estimated value of US dollars is 151 billion in 2020. So the overall 157 million tons were used for human consumption, equivalent an estimate annual supply of 20.2 kg per capita consumption of fish. So the remaining 20 million tons were destined for non-food users, mainly fish meal, fish oil, etc. So you can just have a look at the change in the marine fish production in India. That means mainly the in India, marine fish production is around 41.27 lakh tons. So you can see the state-wise contribution to the marine fisheries. So you can see that Gujarat stands the first, around 6.88. Then Then we have Karnataka. We have Kerala, though being a small state. Last year, the 21-22, the landings are very high. Mainly the west coast is mainly the main contributors are the pelagic fishes, mackerel, sardine, and anchovies. So total marine fish production state-wise, you can see in a bar graph. So Goa is being a small state, but it also contributes. The contribution is a lot mainly because of the rich landing of the Persian catch. Means that is the pelagic fisheries. So already the Goa State Fisheries Director of Fisheries had told about the Goa. The coastline is 1.104 kilometers. And what about the landing? Just see the trend in marine fisheries landing from 2001 to 2020 in Goa. So you can see a decline in 2019 and 20. That is mainly because of the COVID-19 problem. So there is a decline in the last 2 years because of the COVID-19 effect. So then with the potential yield, can have the total potential yield between 0 to 200 and 200 to 500 meters. And we have that oceanic resources like yellowfin tuna, skipjack tuna, big eye tuna. And these are all the estimates of the potential, how much we can harvest. Every 10 years, there will be a committee which calculates and estimates the potential based on the real truth data and the landing data. So there are different fishing methods are practiced. Already you have seen in the forenoon session also. So now the concept behind is the main is the eco-friendly fishing methods. Like what we see is the different type of fishing, like hook and line fishing, long lining. These are all the mainly the eco-friendly, because you can target the size of the fish and not like trawling, which is just a blind fishing. So whatever in the bottom will come up in the net, and what you want you will take, and remaining you will throw out. Then finally it will the beautiful natural vegetation in the bottom will become a football ground. So that is what happens in trawling. So here it is a selective fishing where based on the size of the hook, you select, which fish you want. Accordingly, the size of the hook you can use to harvest such resources. So this is the different multi-filament longliner which we operate in at Marmugao base of Fisheries Survey of India in Goa. This vessel name is MFE Yellowfin. It is a multi-filament longliner. And these are the specification of the gear. The vessel is around 37 meters OAL, overall length, and GRT is 310. And we use the multi-filament gear mainly targeting the tuna. So these are the rich tuna harvested from our longliner. I think the tuna over there, what the trainees, these are all the Nicobari trainees. They are from the Nicobar Islands. The same, what vessel we have, MFE Yellowfin here, the same Xerox copy sister vessel we have in Andamans. So these are the Nicobari trainees. They wanted rehabilitation, and they want to get some job or something after the tsunami. So many of the persons, they lost their family members in the devastating tsunami. So they participated, and that tuna what has been hanging down is around 86 kgs. So these are some of the oceanic resources. We have Tunas albicaris, yellowfin tuna, then Katsuanes pelamis, skipjack, then Tunas obeseus, big eye tuna. This is the average length and weight what we usually get in our longliners. It's not the maximum and minimum length what usually found. So then we have the billfish resources, Zimphius gladius swordfish, and then we have Istiophorus platypterus, that is the Indo-Pacific sailfish. Then we have Macaria mazara, Indo-Pacific blue marlins. And then we have striped marlin, Tetraptex addax, then Macaria indica, which is black marlin. I think many of you would have not seen this because these are all huge size fishes, and usually it don't come in the local market. But anyhow, we are setting up our museum to accommodate, to show to the public and students about the large size fishes. So we slowly started preserving this large specimen in our museum. So in another 6 months or something, we will complete the process. So then we have the Alopidae, thresher sharks. So as you all know, I think there is a lot of research is going on this thresher shark, because this shark mainly, it is very swift in movement, and usually it will be in the surface area in the oceanic waters, and it hunts by using its tail. It will stun the prey with the help of its tail, and then it will eat it. So that is the special feeding behavior of this particular shark. Then we have the common shark, blacktip, and Kerkarinus, limbatus, melanopterus, and then macloti. These are all the requiem sharks, common species. Then we have the hammerheads, the Spirinidae family. So this is another type of fishing. You have seen the long line method. What are the species? What we get is, and this one is another eco-friendly fishing method called light fishing, where in that branch line we use a light stick, which attracts mainly the swordfish. So here what you are seeing is the bait. We have used squid as a bait, or mainly use mackerel, sardine, and squid. These three are the main things we use as bait. So the swordfish will get attracted by the light, and it gets hooked. This is also a targeted fishing. And this is in Lakshadweep waters. You would have heard of Poland line fishing, where they use barbless hook, mainly targeting skipjack and yellowfin tuna. And then another eco-friendly fishing method, we call it as the bottom set vertical long line. So these are the lines which set at the bottom of the sea, just above, where the bottom is rocky, and if you use any other type of fishing gear, it gets entangled, and it may lead to the ghost fishing. So this is very effective methods of mainly harvesting the perch resources, like Serenidae family and all, no? That it can be easily harvested by this kind of resources. This is just a typical diagram of the branch line of the bottom set vertical longliner, where we use 5 hooks, where each hook will be baited with a piece of bait. It's no need of putting the full fish. One piece of fish can be used for the bait. So now the next is the trap fishing. This is also an eco-friendly fishing methods. You would have seen in the Atlantic and Pacific Ocean in National Geographic, where they use huge cages, trap cages for the crabs. So spider crabs. So here this can be also used for harvesting the perch resources, where you can use that made of net, that cages can be made, and some trash fish or some fish can be kept inside. So this perch varieties, especially groupers, usually having an behavior of hiding. So this, once the grouper enters inside, it cannot come out. So such kind of large size fishes and commercially imported fishes can be harvested. So these are the common varieties of perches which can be caught by bottom set vertical long line and the cage trap fishing. These are mainly the Serenidae family we have, and Ludjanidae and Lethrinidae. So then another eco-friendly fishing method we have called squid jigging. This is just like a light fishing, where there are rolls on the sides of the ship with highly illuminating light. So as you know, phototactic, the squids are very much attracted towards light. So they'll swim towards the light and get caught by the jigs. So, and it will be landed inside the deck. So as you know, nowadays the major sustainability and marine fishery, the major problem is ghost fishing, plastics and ghost fishing. It is also a type of plastics only. So this will lead to the more depletion of our resources, not only the ecosystem and also the habitats which are there, especially the marine ecosystem and marine animals which do get get caught and die without of any use to the human or to them. So think more while using plastic. And even if you get any, my sincere request is, if you get anything on the beach, so dispose it responsibly. If somebody has throws out, educate them or put it in the dustbin nearby, which is designated for it. And even we do collect the, since we are in the, we have a surveyed vessels. When we do the fishing, we also get lot of plastic. So we also collect it and bring it to the shore and dispose it responsibly. And we do educate the fishermen to do the same thing. Hope whenever you meet any fisherman or any person related to the fisheries, try to educate them also regarding ill effects of plastics. And thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can ask me.
Thank you very much, sir, for the interesting talk. And any questions? At least a couple of questions you can have. Students back, any questions? Yes, Dr. Avalin.
What's that? Yeah.
How can we tackle this problem? Because usually the cleanups which are there, they are targeting only like surface water and all.
Yes,
But
sir.
ghost nets are mostly found at the bottom and everything, and that's where majority of the fish are dying also. So how can we tackle this problem, sir?
Yes, sir. So the main thing what we are doing is educate the fishermen. See, the ghost nets are due to some other problem got entangled and it will be settled at the bottom of the sea. So the other person who is doing the dragging the net, especially the trawlers, they'll definitely get this net inside their net, right? So we have to educate them to bring back the net to the shore and dispose it responsibly. But for this, I think IMO is bringing a new project called Global Littering, Glow Litter. It is about to come to India, where we will encourage the mariners, or mainly the fishermen and other people who go to the sea, to bring, responsibly dispose the plastic and bring back to the shore all these things, and it will be collected and some amount will be given to the fishermen and all. No, it is about to come. I think our ministry is taking up this project in a larger way. It's about to be implemented. Thank you, sir.
Any other question? If there are no questions, thank you very much, sir, for the very informative talk.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Pradeep. I now invite our chairperson to kindly present a memento to Dr. Pradeep. With this, we come to the end of session 4. I request the chairperson to kindly present the concluding remarks.
In this session, we had 5 invited talks. The first one on marine ecosystem, sustainability fishing. She talked about marine fishing and sustainable harvesting of marine fishes, and various acts and rules implemented by fisheries department, and marine fish production and monsoon fish ban and artificial reefs, seaweed cultivation, etc. And second talk we had on evaluation of drugs for central nervous system activity, and he emphasized on in vivo animal models and various Ayurvedic formulations for CNS. And third talk we had on biomimetics and new technologies. Dr. Savita Kerkar has elaborated on all aspects, and we also elaborately discussed on those. Very interesting talk. And the fourth one was on marine ornamental aquaculture, and he has shown very interesting, very colorful fishes and fish aquarium and various applications of those, and impact of climate change and prospects of marine ornamental fishes. And the fifth one, just we had on marine fisheries of India and sustainable fishing methods, and he emphasized on various eco-friendly fishing methods. And I thank all the 5 speakers on this occasion. And also, I would like to bring out that I'm sure all of you are really benefited from these 5 interesting talks. And I also take this opportunity to thank the organizers, especially the Dean, Professor Savita Kerkar, and Dr. Nitin Sawant, Program Director, and organizing secretaries for giving us this chance to chair the session. And also I thank the reporter for compiling this information. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of the School of Biological Sciences and Biotechnology, especially the discipline of zoology, I request Professor Roy to present a token of love and appreciation to the chairperson of the 4th session, Professor Krishnan. Thank you, sir. We will now begin with the 5th session, that is the oral presentations. Requesting all the participants to load your presentations in the laptop, in case any of you have not loaded it yet.